Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. So let me show you my colour palette first, and then I'll show you the size of the canvas that I'm going to be working on. People have asked to see some more close-ups of the consistency of the paint as I do the paint. So I'm just going to do a couple of close-ups first. And I just want to explain the colour palette that I'm working on today. So I've got some Amsterdam, some Winsor and Newton and some Arteza colours. So I'm going to use pale magenta, pale olive, pale lemon, Persian rose, ultramarine violet, king's blue and light gold. Okay, so I'm going to do a bigger canvas today, a 20" by 40". So this is going to be exciting. So here's the some of the consistency of the paints again. You'll see that this is dutchpour consistency because I'm going to layer the paints on the canvas and then blow out with a hairdryer. So the paints need to be very runny, very good consistency for allowing a blowout across a large canvas. So I hope it's clear on the picture that you can see. Okay, so I'm using a titanium white as the base, mixed with my pouring medium and water. So I'm just going to cover the canvas in this white paint. The brand of paint I'm using is by Mont Marte, and I find that Mont Marte helps me create some really good cells and lacing, especially when they're mixed with other branded paint. So I'm just going to layer this on the canvas, and then I'm going to make sure that there's a consistent covering. I don't want it too thick, but I also don't want it too thin, so it's judging just right on how it needs to be. So I'm going to use a blow dryer and a palette knife to cover the canvas, and yeah, let's go. Okay, so I've got my palette knife, and I'm just going to spread the paint across the canvas with that. It's slightly thicker than what I'd normally use for a Dutch pour base, but I'm going to make sure that I can use this palette knife to spread the paint over evenly. I'm just making sure that there's not a huge puddle of paint on the edges. I don't mind the puddle being in the middle of the canvas because that's where I'm going to layer my paint, and then I'll be able to blow out easily. But for this piece, I'm just going to make sure that I can spread this across all the corners, across all the edges, just to make sure it's got a consistent base colour. Okay, so I torched because of air bubbles, and I always think it's the hardest bit, you know, making sure that the base coat is the right consistency. Okay, so I'm taking each of the colours now, and I am layering them each in turn on the canvas, and I'm sticking to the middle because my plan is, this is, you know, the Dutch pour method. So I'm going to layer the colours, and then I'm going to cover those colours in the base coat by blowing out with a hairdryer, and then I'm going to try and recreate some of the pieces that I've done in the past. I've done a multicoloured piece, and I've done a green colour piece using the same technique and style, and I'll try and show you those as we go along. But what I'm going to try and do is make sure I can kind of create like a, well, let's see what you think. It's all open to interpretation, but it's almost like a mountain effect, and the way the way that I make the paint flow on the canvas, and the way I create the movement on the canvas, it's like waves. But I'd love to see what you think at the end, because when I show people these kind of pieces, we all have our own views on what they look like or what they represent, and yeah, I'd be really interested to know what you think. Okay, so I'm layering the colours on top of each other, and the blue and the green colours, you can see I haven't done that consistently throughout. I've split them up a bit, and that's how I create the movement on that piece. And it's almost like I'm almost trying to create like a free-flowing kind of 3D piece. So yeah, I really hope this works out. I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to blow the colours all on top of each other, and I'm hoping that with the Mont Marte base coat that I've used, that's going to create cells and lacing. I have no silicone in this at all, so I am hoping that, like I have done in the past, and this was way before I made videos, I created other pieces very similar to this. So this time around I'm filming, because I've had quite a few people contact me about those past pieces, and it's really flattering and really great to know that you're really interested in how I make these. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more of the Mont Marte titanium white on the base, and I'm flooding that because I'm going to blow over that white colour on all those other colours, and then I'm going to blow again using a hairdryer and work from one end to the other, and hopefully I'm going to create like that wave and movement flow within that piece. Okay, before I blow out, I think I'm going to just torch the piece. I can see quite a few air bubbles. I want to get rid of those air bubbles at this stage. So I'm going to torch all the way along. I did mix my paints recently, so yeah, there's quite a few air bubbles in that. And this torch will help get rid of those air bubbles, and also hopefully help the cell formation as well. Okay, so let's just show you how it is at the moment. So I've blown the white base colour over all those colours, and I'm now going to, with the blow dryer, blow the piece across. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it at a couple of points and bring you in for a closer look. I was just doing a quick test blowing out with my mouth just to make sure that the paint flowed just how I want it to, and it is. So let's use the blower. So just taking you in for a closer look before I continue with the second half of this piece. And you can see some of the sails and the lacing. It's just gorgeous. I love, love, love doing these kind of pieces. I hope you like it too. Okay, that's the full piece done. So let me show you. And I got the movement that I really wanted to create, and I just love this color palette. What do you guys think? I'd love to know. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. Let me try and give you a close-up from another angle. This could be hung on the wall horizontally or vertically. I don't think it really matters. I think it moves and flows no matter what way it's hung. Look at some of these sails there. They're just really gorgeous. Please dry really well. You know, I just hope it doesn't all move. I need to remove some of the drips from the sides just so it doesn't pull off the design. But I'm loving this. Okay, let me remove some of the drips off the edges. So you'll see that the design has flowed over the side. I really like that because it just shows a continuation. But I'm removing the drips because I don't want the design to be pulled off the canvas and down the edges. I've been asked to show this in a couple of my videos, so I'm just showing you that now. As you can see, it's very easy to remove. Okay, so this is the dried version. It's fully varnished. I'll show you it two ways. I'll show you it vertically and horizontally. And I think you'll agree that the colours just pop. And I'm really pleased I put that gold in the middle, because in the light it just shimmers and it gives it that kind of depth and that flow when you look at it. And when you stand back and look at it, you'll see what I mean. But look at some of that lacing and sails. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really do love working on these bigger pieces at the moment, and obviously using the blow dryer. So let me show you it horizontally. So again, I think it has that flow. What do you see in these pieces? I'd really love to know what you see in these designs, and what other colours do you think I should use? I'd be really interested to hear what you think. I'm always open to ideas, so drop me a message in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to know what you think of this kind of design and this piece. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. See you soon. Bye.